What's going on, car family? I am Ben Wayne, and today we're going to be taking an in-depth look at the Mercedes-Benz SL550 and SL63, and we're going to go over some of the key differences between both cars. But before we get started, make sure you like and subscribe. Here's a quick history lesson. The Mercedes-Benz SL class has been manufactured by Mercedes since 1954. It is known as the top segment in Grand Touring roadsters. This is the 6th generation SL class we'll be looking at today. And what makes it different from the previous generation is the fact that it's up to 300 pounds lighter. And this is due to the fact it uses casted, stamped, and extruded aluminum for the body finish. The SL class is available with a variety of different engine platforms. The standard SL classes are the SL400 and the SL550. But then AMG steps in, which is the performance division of Mercedes-Benz, and the result is an AMG SL63 or possibly an SL65 with the bi-turbo V12. Now that we've covered some of the history and the background of the SL class, let's take a look at some of the exterior features and see what makes this car so special. The sport styling of the Mercedes-Benz SL550 can be noticed from the very front of the car. If we take a look at the hood, you can see it has dramatic power lines that go from the front of the hood all the way to the windshield. Now working our way down, going towards the front grille, there's a large mesh front air dam with a single bladed grille and the large Mercedes-Benz symbol in the middle. The SL class features Mercedes-Benz intelligent light system, which features daytime running lights here and bi-xenon headlamps. The front of the Mercedes-Benz SL63 is a bit more aggressive than that of the SL550. It features a double bladed grille with the AMG symbol in the middle and a large front air dam with black mesh in the background. It should also be noted that the bottom front splitter is aluminum. Let's talk about the wheel and suspension setup of both of these vehicles. This is where you're going to start to see the difference between the SL550 and the SL63. The SL550 features 19-inch 5-spoke wheels with 4-piston brake calipers, and it features the traditional active body control. The Mercedes-Benz SL63 has a much different setup from the traditional SL550. This specific unit features 19-inch wheels in the front and 20-inch rims in the back. In the front, you have 15.4-inch brake rotors with 6-piston calipers, and in the rear, you have a 14.2-inch brake rotor with a single sliding piston caliper. It should be noted that the active body control system for the SL63 is different from that of the traditional SL550. It's specifically tuned for the 63 to counteract body roll, vibration, and pitch. It does this by using a network of sensors. It can also help counteract crosswinds while driving. The sport theme of the Mercedes-Benz SL550 is carried all the way to the rear of the car with its wrapped LED tail lamps, aluminum trunk lid, and dual exhaust tips. Now let's take a look at the rear SL63 and compare the differences between the two vehicles. The rear of the Mercedes-Benz SL63 is far more aggressive than that of the SL550. If you take a closer look here, the trunk is actually composed of carbon fiber as opposed to aluminum. You have this rear spoiler which creates extra downforce on the rear axle of the car, your LED tail lamps, and special AMG badging. Going lower, you have quad-tipped AMG dual exhaust. Now that we've covered some of the details of the exterior of the SL550 and SL63, let's take a look at the interior of the SL class and see what makes this car have such a great luxury appeal. Coming over to the door, the top is covered in deep brown leather, which is soft and has contrast stitching going the length of the door. You have a nice panel of wood trim here, an aluminum door handle, an unlock and lock button, adjustable seating with 3-position memory, power controls for your windows and side view mirrors, and storage at the bottom of the door. Let's take a look at some of the details of the interior of the SL550, starting with the dashboard, and walk our way down the center console. In the center of the interior, you're going to find a nice analog clock. I think that's a very classy touch as opposed to using just the traditional digital clock that you would find in most cars. And you have soft brown leather and contrast stitching in the center of the vehicle. Coming down, you have 2 large air conditioning vents and your infotainment system with your controls for your radio, navigation, and CD, and telephone. Coming down, you have a series of buttons going across here. This button is for 2 levels of heating. This is for the 3 levels of cooling. There are fans in the seats to keep you cool on hot days. This button is for your air scarf control. It's a system that blows warm air around your neck to keep you warm when you have the top down on cooler days. This is your traction control, hazards, Parktronic system, and heated and cooled seats for the passenger side. The car also features dual zone climate control, nice wood trim in the center console, and 2 cup holders. Coming further down, you have an electronic shift knob with SL embossed in leather. You have your sport and comfort mode button here and your eco mode, which means that when the car stops at an intersection, the motor will cut off to save fuel, and when you press your foot on the accelerator, the engine will start back up so you can proceed to your destination. Here's a control that allows you to control your infotainment system as well as the seat massagers. Further down in the console, you open this door and you'll see a lever which controls the top mechanism as well as the windows and the wind blocker. On this side, there's plenty of storage for your iPhones or other electronic devices, and a USB port as well. Now this is my favorite feature about this car. I'm going to pull this lever here and show you what the top looks like when it folds into the trunk. One of the great things about the Mercedes-Benz SL is that all SLs come standard with the panoramic roof. What they don't all come standard with is an option called Magic Sky Control. Magic Sky Control is an option that shoots current through the glass of the panoramic roof and it can alter the transparency from light to dark. Here's a demonstration. Since the Mercedes-Benz SL63 is based off the standard SL, the interior is very similar, but there are also key differences in the AMG model that sets this car apart. The center console is where you're going to see some of the key differences between the SL63 and the SL550. In the SL63, you have the AMG Afalter back logo embossed here on the top of the shifter, instead of the traditional SL symbol you would find on the standard SL550. Here you have a button for your traction control, your suspension, and your AMG button, which allows you to customize different configurations in the vehicle. This wheel here allows you to control your different driving modes. C stands for controlled efficiency, which incorporates the vehicle's eco start-stop function when you stop at intersections. S raises the shift points in the vehicle. S plus and M allow the vehicle to make shift times within 100 milliseconds. The SL63 features a unique 3-spoke multi-function steering wheel with thick aluminum paddles on the back. As you can see on the bottom, it's race inspired with the flat bottom and has the AMG logo. And then on the middle of the steering wheel has the Mercedes-Benz logo with black stitching going around. Another key difference that you will find in the Mercedes-Benz SL63 are the AMG exclusive gauge clusters, which feature illuminated red indicators and unique graphics within silver metallic bezels. Let's take a look at the power plants of these two cars and see what sets them apart. The Mercedes-Benz SL550 is powered by a 4.7-liter bi-turbo V8, producing 429 horsepower and 516 pound-feet of torque. Through the use of a Mercedes-Benz 7-speed automatic transmission, this car is capable of going from 0 to 60 in just 4.5 seconds. Now let's take a look at what's under the hood of the Mercedes-Benz SL63. Now the Mercedes SL63 is powered by a 5.5-liter bi-turbo V8, which produces 577 horsepower and 664 pound-feet of torque. This car uses an AMG speed shift multi-clutch transmission It goes from 0 to 60 in just 4.1 seconds. One of the cool things about the Mercedes-Benz SL63 is the 5.5-liter AMG V8. Each engine that's built by AMG is built by one person. The slogan is one man, one engine. So on the top of each engine cover, there's a plaque with the engraving of each craftsman's signature. Now let's start up the SL550 and hear how that 4.7-liter bi-turbo V8 sounds. Now let's start up the V8 of that SL63 and see if you can hear the difference. So now that we've done a brief overview of the SL class, I want you to do me a favor. Be sure to leave a comment below and tell me what your favorite feature is and why. I would like to thank everybody for watching this quick overview of the Mercedes-Benz SL550 and SL63. I would also like to give a special thanks to Atlanta Classic Cars for providing access to these vehicles. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. After all, it's free.